it is 7 o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. If you'd like to rise to say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our first order of business today is going to be to administer the oath of office to our newly elected mayor and our city council members. So I'm going to start with the mayor first. If you'd like to please rise and raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of mayor
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of mayor
for the city of Port Huron
for the city of Port Huron
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So next, if I could have all three of our council members, please rise. Again, I'm going to have you raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of council member
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of council member
for the city of Port Huron
for the city of Port Huron
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. So now we'll go ahead and take the roll. Councilmember Archibald.
Here.
Councilmember Ashford.
Present.
Councilmember Beeden.
Here.
Councilmember Lamb.
Here.
Councilmember Moserak.
Here.
Councilmember Pemberton.
Here.
Mayor Rapp.
Here. Okay, you want me to take over now?
It's up to you.
We're sharing our duties tonight.
We'll share our duties.
Well, you're doing well, so until we get to the minutes, go ahead.
Well, we're going to do the appointment of Mayor Pro Tem first. So the city charter reads as follows. At the first regular meeting after each city general election, the city council shall appoint one of its elected members to serve as Mayor Pro Tem. Nominations are now open for anyone who would like to nominate someone for Mayor Pro Tem.
You're up. I'd like
Yes.
to nominate Sherry Archibald.
Support?
We have a nomination and a support. Is there any other nominations? Is there any other nominations? The nominations are closed, and we will take a vote.
Councilmember Archibald?
Yes.
Councilmember Ashford?
Yes.
Councilmember Beeden?
Yes.
Councilmember Lamb?
Yes.
Councilmember Moserak?
Yes.
Councilmember Pemberton?
Yes.
Mayor Rapp?
Yes.
Now we'll move on to our minutes.
Well, you need to administer the oath. for
Oh,
the-
yes, I do.
Yep.
Sorry about that. All right, Sherry,
We'll
if I
get
could-
there.
if I could have you rise again and raise your right hand, okay? I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Mayor Pro Tem
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Mayor Pro Tem
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Well, now I think we can just move on to the minutes. Is there a motion to receive and file the minutes from the October 26th? Is there support?
Support.
Motion and support. Is there any changes to the minutes? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes will stand as submitted. We're now to public comment. If there's anyone in the audience who wishes to address the city council this evening, please come forward to the podium, give us your name and address, and you have 4 minutes. Well, welcome, Ken.
Right on cue.
You're right on cue, that's right.
Good evening, council members, mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and all our new council members. welcome to the club. I really appreciate it. I think you guys are going to do a good job. But while I'm here tonight, I'd like to draw your attention at first to let you guys know tonight, that anybody that spins the numbers, that after your payments tonight, when you get done with the resolution to pass the payments, we will have paid Tetra Tech $549,761 this year, which, you know, Tetra Tech does a large share of our engineering and stuff like that, and it's been my pet peeve for the last 10 years or even prior to being on city council to see how much money we spent with that firm, and it's a lot of money. The other thing that kind of drew my attention on the items to be paid was the $8,882 for the advertisement for what the city does, the fall cleanup and everything. And I guess my concern with that is we went to an outside printing company for this service and stuff, and we have 2 printers in downtown Port Huron. So I think that we should try to look to sail the ship from our local businesses when possible. Another thing that stands out with me, I've had a communication since I left city council, and I see right now we're going to go back tonight and we're going to revisit the marijuana issue and stuff. And I guess my concern is the gentleman called me because he was looking at that piece of property on Military Street also as a provisional center, and they said they backed out of the deal because of it, the thought of it being in the parameters of some churches and stuff. So I went and did a little background work and stuff, and under medical marijuana, there are provisions there that give protection to churches and stuff within 1,000 feet with a waiver of 500 feet. And I just think before we start rewriting this whole document and stuff, that we have to consider our houses of faith when we do this. Grand Rapids has kind of put it in there, which allows a waiver from the 1,000 feet to 500. The city of Detroit, I haven't been able to find it, but they had a ballot issue on the same thing, 1,000 feet and another 500-foot parameter. So marijuana's coming to Port Huron, but let's just put it in the right place. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience who wishes to address the city council this evening? Seeing no one, I'll declare public comment closed, and we will have resolution number 1.
Authorizing 18 payments.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Councilmember Pemberton, supported by Councilmember Ashford.
Madam Mayor and Council, this year, which is different than usual years, the annual newsletter was put in your bills. We received 3 quotes on that. Allegra was not only the lowest cost, but also the only firm that could turn it around in a decent timeline. As you know, in the annual newsletter, we always attach our service schedule. We were concerned that the first leaf vac would actually pass by your house before you ever got mailed notification that it was coming. So we needed a firm that could deliver the newsletter in a timely, get it printed and get it mailed in a timely fashion so that residents had it before the leaf pickup actually began. Secondly, the reason why the cost is much more is that in previous years, we actually brought back the 12,000 copies of the newsletter and paid staff to put them through our Pitney Bowes machine. What Allegra did is they printed the newsletter off, but also paid for all the postage as well in that cost. So it's actually not that much more because we're getting billed for postage and printing costs in the same bill rather than printing costs, which are about $3,000 to $4,000, and then had staff time, which took a significant amount of time, and our own Pitney Bowes bill, which was several $1,000s. So it's all streamlined into one bill at a much more reduced cost. We were able to get it out in a much more timely and efficient manner. And it was actually, I think, 8 pages larger than last year.
Yes, Councilmember Ashford.
So in moving forward, are we going to bid this, or?
Yeah, it's not only more cost effective to do the printing and the postage at the same time because it's metered mail, so you're essentially printing your meter stamp on it at the same time, but it's also time efficiency. So by the time we get the newsletter schedule, get the information from the department heads, we have to get it to residents before the first leaf vac begins. And so we try to get it out the second and third week in September every year.
Any other questions from
Mayor
you?
Rep,
Yes, Councilmember.
I just
Moser.
wanted to compliment whatever team that you put together to do that newsletter. It was very informative and well done, so congratulations on that.
Thank you. I wish I could take credit, but the fact is each department drew up their own little section, and then Cynthia Cutright, our DDA director, knows how to use the graphics program, so she was able to lay that all out. So we didn't have to pay a graphics team either. We did it all in-house this year. So we're getting better at it. I know that was one of your stated goals 2 years ago. So 2 years ago, we sent out the report card with a much more broader newsletter than just the schedule. And this year, we built upon that, putting some information there from each department. Additionally, on the last page is a neat numbers to know. So people can take that last page out. It's a very handsome photo of some folks on there as well, and post it to their fridge that has the important numbers in the county, whether it be the county clerk's office, the library, community mental health, suicide prevention line. All the really important numbers are on there, just a one-pager so that people can have that.
Very good. Any other questions for the city manager?
I just want to apologize as well that I did not wear my red blazer tonight.
We will take the vote.
Oh, Lord.
Councilmember Ashford?
Yes.
Councilmember Beeden?
Yes.
Councilmember Lamb?
Yes.
Councilmember Morozrak?
Yes.
Councilmember Pemberton?
Yes.
Councilmember Archibald?
Yes.
Mayor Rep.
Yes. If there's no objections, because they are all dealing with the same piece of property at 318 Grand River Avenue, and they're all to schedule public hearings, we're going to take items 2, 3, and 4 all together.
Approving the scheduling of a public hearing for November 23rd, 2020, to hear comments on the Wrigley Center LLC Brownfield Plan for 318 Grand River Avenue. Approving the schedule of a public hearing for November 23rd, 2020, to hear comments on the establishment of an obsolete property rehabilitation act district for 318 Grand River Avenue. And approving the scheduling of a public hearing for November 23rd, 2020, to hear comments on the application for an obsolete property rehabilitation act certificate for 318 Grand River.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Did you say, yeah. I got to get used to new voices.
know.
Mayor Pro Tem Archibald, supported by Councilmember Moserak. Go ahead, James.
Madam Mayor and Council, just quickly, you have here, I just want to thank several people here. I want to thank David Haynes and his team. This is probably the fastest we've ever developed a brownfield agreement, OPRA plan. This is timeline, rapidly fast to get to the state treasurer's office. These come before you, but a lot of people don't see the behind-the-scenes meetings that take place. So Mayor Rep and Mayor Pro Tem Archibald and myself and our leadership team in the planning department held numerous roundtable meetings with the county, with bankers, with members of the county brownfield, with the developer, with key stakeholders to really spring this project at a much faster rate. So we really want to get the financing in place and get this thing closed out before the end of the year. To do that, when you have the development of the plan, it has to go before the DDA, it has to go before the Brownfield Authority, it has to go to City Council, it has to have a public hearing, it has to be to the State Treasurer's Office at a certain time to make the proper timeline to get it done by the end of the year. And because the developer is using new market tax credits, the end of the year date has a significant impact on the ability of this project to go forward. So this is coming before you tonight, but there's a significant amount of meetings. I appreciate Mayor Rapp putting those meetings together, Mayor Pro Tem Archibald for attending those meetings, working with the developer, negotiating the brownfield plan. As you know, this is an obsolete building in our downtown. There's significant environmental and site issues that have to be remediated, whether it's asbestos, whether it's soil issues for building up. This will eventually lead to, we believe, construction starting in the spring and summer, to about a $12 to $15 million project. 36-unit mixed-use development, includes a farmer's market and maker's market, retail, just really a holistic development for that site. So I want to appreciate your leadership on that, for meeting with our stakeholders. And people ask, why do relationships and collaborations matter? Really, only in the city of Port Huron can you have the chair of the county board, the county administrator, the mayor pro tem, the city manager, the director of development, the developer, the Brownfield Authority, MEDC, bankers, all at the table, putting these projects together to make them not only happen, but happen at a much rapid rate. Because these incentives, it's kind of like Hungry Hungry Hippo. Once there's incentives out there, there's projects all over the state who are trying to get the Hungry Hungry Hippo. And we want to be the first one to get those incentives and bring those projects to the city of Port Huron. So if this was a game of Hungry Hungry Hippo, we're going to win it. So thank you for your leadership.
Well, a few years ago, before you had a little girl, you wouldn't have known what Hungry Hungry Hippo was.
That's true. That's true.
I know, it's like, oh my gosh. Is there any questions for the city manager? I just want to thank Larry Jones and Tracy for all their hard work and for what we're going to have a showcase downtown. right? There. If there's nothing else, we will take the vote.
Councilmember Beeden?
Yes.
Councilmember Lamb?
Yes.
Councilmember Mosherek?
Yes.
Councilmember Pemberton?
Yes.
Councilmember Archibald?
Yes.
Councilmember Ashford?
Yes.
Mayor Rep.
Yes, we'll move on to ordinances.
First reading, an ordinance to repeal Chapter 12 Businesses, Article 13, Adult Use Marijuana Businesses of the Port Huron Code of Ordinances.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Mayor Pro Tem Archibald, is there a second?
Support?
Councilmember Pemberton. I wonder, James, if you could explain to everyone why we're doing this?
Thank you. As you know, there was a petition-led referendum that was on the ballot on November 3rd. It did pass. We know from the onset that there's going to be a lot of conflicts with the additional ordinance you already passed. And so after talking with legal counsel, there's just too many conflicts. And so our idea was, if there was a conflict, the one that passed would prevail, but even that gets just way too sticky, because when people are coming to our ordinance book, there's 2 ordinances in the book for the same issue. It's confusing by which one we'll go by. It could lead to possible litigation, and so there's no value in keeping the ordinance on the books. It's only going to lead to confusion and possible litigation. Our city attorneys highly recommended that we simply repeal it, go with the one that was passed at the ballot box, because it's essentially all-encompassing to prevent conflicts and duplicity. It's pretty
We
much as
actually
simple as
don't
that.
have a choice. That's
No, we
all.
don't have a choice, and I would say this, we do not have a choice. The line on the ballot was about, I think, a sentence and a half, maybe 2 sentences long, but the ballot that passed was multiple pages in small print. There's a lot of details in there that will be shook out. You have no legal authority to alter it or amend it or change it for 2 years. So if people don't like what's happening and they don't appreciate things that are happening, just know that we have no control over it now. Our local control has been removed. The local preferences for local residents to get licenses are no longer in effect. So it'll be first come, first served for the licenses. As you know, unless you're in the medical marijuana business, you can't get a license right now. So as of right now, no local resident will be able to apply for a license, unless they have a medical marijuana license, which is nobody.
And the point that Mr. Harris brought up about the churches and the distance, basically, there's not much we can change in that either, because it's all part of their ordinance, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So the voters adopted that ordinance, and that's what we have to stand by for at least 2 years.
Correct.
Mayor Rep, have I heard that right? Is that we have no control over zoning anymore either?
We can,
Or some of that still stay intact?
we do on the zoning aspect
We
of it.
still have the
certainly.
zoning?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Is there any other questions for the city manager or any discussion on this? Okay, thank you. We will take the vote.
Councilmember Lamb?
Yes.
Councilmember Moroge? This is hard for me. Mosherek?
Yes.
Councilmember Pemberton?
Yes.
Councilmember Archibald?
Yes.
Councilmember Ashford?
No.
Councilmember Beeden?
Yes.
Mayor Rep.
Yes. That actually concludes our regular agenda tonight. It was a very short one. Most of it was swearing in the new council members, of which we normally have a little bit more pomp and circumstance to go with that, but because of COVID, we wanted to just keep our distance and go through the swearing in and not have everybody traipsing up to the podium, so. Yeah. But anyways, I want to take a minute here and I would like to thank everyone who supported me in last week's election. It was overwhelming, and the citizens of Port Huron can be confident that I will continue to make decisions with theirs and the city's best interest in mind. My contact information is on the city website, and I encourage the sharing of concerns and/or solutions to issues before us. That's one of our hardest things to do, is to get people to actually reach out to us. So I'm encouraging that. Please do it, myself or anybody on the council. For those who ran for office but did not gain a seat, I just would encourage them to stay involved. You're commended for even putting your name on the ballot. I'd also like to congratulate Councilmember Beeden, because she will be, congratulate but say goodbye all the same. She's going to be here for a little while longer because she doesn't have to take her office at the county till January, but congratulations.
Thank you.
On your new thing. And I guess I would like to offer my congratulations to everybody else who took the oath tonight. and I'm looking forward to working with everyone on city council for the betterment of our community and for its continued success. And then as an added note at the end, I would like to just thank my husband for always being there for me and standing behind me when I run for office. It's not always pleasant at our house during that time. So I thank him for his support and his help, and I also would like to wish him happy birthday, because it's his birthday today, and here I am, and he's home alone, so, with the dog and the cat, yes. Anyways, if anybody else would like to make any comments, I'm certainly opening up the floor.
Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember
I'd just like to take a minute also and say thank you to everybody that supported me during my campaign, and those who chose to not support me this time. I hope that you'll give me the opportunity to gain your trust and let you see what a hard worker I am and how dedicated I am to the city. Also, thanks to the Port Huron Police Officers Association and to the Port Huron Professional Firefighters 354 for their support and their endorsement, and I'm looking forward to this new endeavor, and I thank everybody. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Mayor Up? I'll join that. Ditto. I also would like to thank everyone for their continued support. I am honored and humbled that the residents trust me enough and value what I have given in the last 11 years to re-elect me to serve another 4 years. And I promise to work every bit as hard as I did the very first year back in 2009 and continue doing that as long as I'm able for these 4 years. And again, like you said, congratulations to everyone else, but please reach out to us if you have issues, concerns, comments, and even praise. We like to hear that sometimes too, so definitely reach out to any one of us. Congratulations to Bob and Terry. Terry, it's nice to have you back, and I look forward to serving with all of you as well. And Lisa, we will miss you.
You have me for 2 more meetings.
I know, I'm excited.
Well, we can sing it, so. Well, yes, go ahead.
Of course, I would like to extend a very grateful thank you to everybody that supported me. I wasn't very seen out there. I took upon 2 new jobs, and I wasn't quite sure how this was all going to work out. But when I was overwhelmed with all the support that I got, of course, I would never say that I would not take this position. So thank you very much, and I'm very excited to be back here.
Thank you. Does anyone else have anything else they'd like to say?
No, just welcome aboard all the new members and old members.
New and old?
So just welcome aboard, and if there's anything that I can do to help your time here, just let me know. Every senior person here, more than welcome.
Thank you.
Mayor Rep,
Yes, Councilmember Bender.
I'd also like to congratulate both everyone who was elected, but especially Bob and Terry. I actually had the privilege of running at the same time as you a couple of years ago, and we all became friends through the process, and I was really excited to see you guys run on a different year than I run now, thankfully, and I'm really excited to have you both on the team.
Thank you.
Very good. Well, if there's nothing else, a motion to adjourn would be in order.
So move.
Thank you, Councilmember Ashford. Meeting adjourned.